financial conditions, in which the defendant is asked to provide an emergency contact number. The only emergency contact person he lists is himself. And so, and the problem with that is that number that he listed for himself is according to Ms. Alexander, the same number. So I'm just trying to.
Yeah, we got 10,000 people in here, y'all. We done hit a motherfucking milestone again.
Thank you, Ron. And Ms. Alexander,
10K in the chat,
if you were going to call your grandson 8 days ago, what number would you call him at? And if the defense wants this portion to be sealed, I'm fine with that too, but I think this is important information, Your Honor.
Well, could we have a write it down, perhaps?
That's fine.
Announcing it in court. Sure.
It's crazy, man, today. This is crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
State's exhibit number 7 is admitted.
Significant ties to this community, correct?
Yes,
Born and raised in the greater Dallas area.
correct.
As far as how much time he spends in the city of Dallas, or more or less Dallas County and the surrounding areas at this point, do you know approximately how much time he spends in the greater Dallas area per month?
I'd say 3/4 of the time.
3/4 of the time.
I think this is where we came in at. Yeah, it was about this time.
30 years. I'm not going to go over the law. I know you understand the bail bond, and how we have new law. I just wanted to point out in some of these cases where there's high profile in the state versus Michael Lucky.
Yeah, that's the part we kind of came in on. So that's when I started streaming, like right around that area. So what I want to do is bring up a few people. Let's see. Jordan was good.
Hold on, y'all. We gonna start this. We gonna start this junk over. We gonna start this junk over. We gonna start this junk over, bro.
To the individuals present
There we go.
and involved in this conversation, the state's witness will also testify to Marquise Conway, the defendant, being present and involved in this conversation. The state's witness will testify to the amount of money that was to be paid for the murder. A state's witness will testify to the individuals responsible for the payment. That state's witness will also testify that Marquise Conway was one of the individuals responsible for a portion of that payment. A state's witness will also testify to the individual who would receive this payment. The state's witness will testify that Kewan White was, in fact, the individual to receive this payment, who was originally indicted in State's Exhibit number 1, the probable cause, which is before this court. The state's witness would also testify that Kewan White, or to who shot and killed Melvin Noble. This witness would also testify to Kewan White being the individual who shot and killed Mr. Noble on November 11th of 2020. Again, this conversation took place in the days following Mr. Noble's murder. The state has also had an opportunity to review bank records of the defendant, Marquise Conway. These records would show that the defendant drew $40,000 in the days following the murder of Melvin Noble. And for the record, that was a cash withdrawal. These records would correspond to the exact amount which the state's witness would testify to. In reviewing these records, the state also became aware and believed that they would show that the defendant had anywhere between $800 and $900, but more specifically, $870,000 between a checking account and a savings account with one particular bank. 370 of which was in a checking account, a little over 500,000 which was in a savings account. The state at this time would like to publish to the court what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 3, which is the video of the offense. Thank you, Your Honor.
John, before that's published, could I just address something with the prosecutor and their proffer?
Sure.
So it's clear for the record that as he recited, the state's witness, his proffer is, that's just one witness.
Correct, Your Honor.
Multiple witnesses. And that I don't recall if the specific in the proffer was when the date that this witness purported to hear this conversation.
I do not have the specific date written down, but I know it was in the days following the offense. We do have evidence of when this could have taken place based off of cell phone data of when the defendant was in another state and then we came back to Texas. So we believe we have a time frame. As far as the exact date, I do not have at this time.
Anything else, Mr. Hill?
No, Your Honor. Permission to publish, Your Honor.
Yes. You don't want the lights off?
It's at the court's discretion.
Oh.
And Your Honor, this is, just for context, this is approximately noon on I-35 heading northbound. This video is taken from a Kroger 18-wheeler, and this is heading north I-35 into downtown Dallas on noon on November 11, 2020. Now, Your Honor, if I could draw the court's attention, if you look on I've stopped this video at 19 seconds. You see a gold sedan in the far left lane and a black sedan in the second lane to the left. The gold sedan will be the vehicle carrying the victim, and the black sedan is the vehicle driven by Q1 White, who is then the shooter, based off of the evidence we have.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to stop this at 1 minute and 37 seconds. The victim does not return into the frame. The only other things that the state would like to proffer as far as this bond hearing, since the court does not have a probable cause affidavit, of course, since it's a grand jury referral, defendant Kewan White was also indicted. You do have his murder probable cause affidavit from 2020. He was also indicted at that same time in cause number F2175377 for Dr. Randall Graham, who also sustained injuries, a neurosurgeon who was heading north on I-35 that day and was struck as well. However, he did survive. And finally, Your Honor, the last thing that I would proffer at this time would be that there were a total of 44 fired cartridge casings, all from the same style of firearm as far as the caliber, that were recovered on the freeway on November 11, 2020. And at this time, Your Honor, state the rest.
The defense.
Judge, this time we call Ms. Alexander to the stand.
And raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that in all matters before the court, you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. You may be seated.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ms. Alexander, could you introduce yourself to the court and spell your last name for the court reporter?
Yes, my name is Alma Jean Alexander, Alexander. I'm Marquis' grandmother.
Ms. Alexander, are you currently employed?
No, I retired from Dallas County in 2014.
Now, when you tell the judge you retired from Dallas County in 2014, what was your occupation?
Deputy clerk.
And just for the record, a deputy clerk, what does a deputy clerk do?
Process paperwork from the attorneys for the judge. Basically handle the paperwork for the courts.
And this is a building that you were employed, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And back in the clerk's room, where in the old days we had a lot of paperwork, lawyers would take the file, take it back to the clerk. You would handle the file stamps and put all the papers into the file.
And type up the judgments.
Type up the judgments. Can we back up a little bit? Just tell the judge a little bit about where were you born and when did you move to Dallas County?
I was born in Washington, Arkansas. I moved to Dallas County when I was 11, so I've been here like 63 years.
And being Marquis's grandmother, could you explain the dynamics of your family as far as where are they located and how many grandchildren do you have and where does Marquis fall in the family relationship?
Okay, Marquis was my first grandson, first grandchild. I have 11 grandchildren and 8 great-grands. Of course, Marquis being the first grandchild, we were always close because you're excited with your first grandchild, so you try to do everything you can and instill in them good values. He's been a godsend to a lot of his family members. He helps everybody in the family. I know it's hard sometimes because when you have people pulling on you and you're just trying to stretch money, you know, it doesn't always pan out. But he's always helped whenever needed. He's just been...
Let me interrupt you just a minute. When you say, let's just go back a little bit. Did he go to public schools here in Dallas County?
Yes, he did.
Was he born and raised here in Dallas County?
Yes, yes he was.
And does he currently work here in Dallas County?
Yes, he's an entertainer.
Okay, and as an entertainer, so we can explain to the court, what type of entertainment does he do?
Music.
And Has he done well in his music career?
Yes.
In the music career, you have a persona, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it's a persona out there for your career is different with the family fold, is that right?
Right.
Him being your grandson, did he go to church here in Dallas County?
Yes, he went to church with me often. That was one of my requirements when he'd spend the weekend.
And how often do you talk and have a relationship with Marquise?
When he's in town, 2 or 3 times a week. When he's out of town, sometime once a week.
His relatives, are they here in the courtroom today?
Yes. Yes.
And is his mother back there in the courtroom?
Yes, she is.
Okay. And for the record, could you just tell is that Miss Kimberly Rush?
Right.
Is his family here? Are they all here in Dallas County or Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex?
Vicinity, yes.
Are you here to just tell the judge he has sufficient ties to this community?
Yes, he does. He does.
Now, as far as, does he have any children?
Yes, he has 2 sons,
And how old are his children?
5 and 7.
Is he, have you observed him being involved in his children's life?
Yeah, we go to football games for the little ones all the time. He's always got them in sports.
Okay, so he's out there in the community coaching up his sons and other kids that play on the football team.
Yeah, I call him the Joe Jackson of the sports.
You call Joe Jackson being Marquise?
Yeah. Joe Jackson was Michael Jackson's father. You know how he pushed them to be great and good. So I said that's what he's trying to do with his boys.
I'm glad you cleared that up. There's other Joe Jacksons, but yes, I can get that Joe Jackson would be well involved in his family.
Yeah.
So you're telling the judge he's from Dallas County, significant ties, and he's involved with his family. As far as you're aware that he is been arrested for this charge
Yes.
of payment for hire for a murder. And this happened back in 2020. You're aware, you saw the video and you heard the prosecutor talk about
Yeah, on Facebook.
their version of the facts.
Right.
How long has he been in jail?
Oh, 8 days since last Thursday.
The bond set at $2 million. Has he been able to post that bond and get out of jail?
He's still sitting here. No, he hasn't.
We're asking the court for a $250,000 bond based on, do you believe that Mr. Conway could post a $250,000 bond?
I'm pretty sure we can get it together.
And are you telling this court that he's not able to post a $2 million bond?
No, he's not.
That's the witness.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Alexander.
Good morning.
My name is Tommy Adams. If you have any questions with my questions, if I don't form them in a good way, please just ask me to repeat myself and I will do so, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate you being down here. I'm sure this is not an easy day for you. So, thank you. You worked for the Dallas County within the clerk's office up until 2014, correct?
Correct.
Now, Ms. Alexander, are you aware that there was a bond schedule that judges could set bonds on different level offenses within this courthouse?
Yes.
And are you aware that that bond schedule has since been done away with and was subject to a federal lawsuit against all the district judges within Dallas County?
No.
Okay. Now, when you talk about your grandson being an entertainer, I mean, he's more than just an entertainer, correct?
Yes.
He's in fact a double platinum artist, correct?
Right.
Now, going back to 2020 and the years leading up to that, well, let me ask you this. Are you aware of your grandson owning a 2017 Denali?
Yes.
And what does that Denali, what is special about that Denali?
It's bulletproof.
It's bulletproof. Now, Ms. Alexander, I can't imagine in all your years working here at the clerk's office that you ever felt like you needed a bulletproof vehicle.
I don't need one.
Now, Ms. Alexander, would you agree with me that in 2020 and the years leading up to 2020, that there was a lot of stuff going on in the city of Dallas surrounding, and to be quite honest, our victim Melvin Noble and your grandson Marquise Conley?
I try not to delve into Facebook and hearsay because I know him for myself, so.
Well, let me ask it this way. Are you aware your grandson was shot in Plano?
Yeah, I was there.
You weren't there at 3 a.m., were you?
I was at the hospital.
Correct, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you would agree with me that even if you're not on Facebook, I mean, this stuff was on TMZ. I think your grandson even did an interview on TMZ with those folks on live TV about this. So you're aware that there was a back and forth going on in this city involving your grandson as well as Mr. Noble, the complainant in this capital murder case. You're aware of that at least, right?
Yes, somewhat.
Okay. Is that the reason your grandson felt the need to get a bulletproof Denali?
No, he felt the need because people are jealous and you don't know who's going to do what, when or where.
Now, are you aware of whether or not he had to, if a Denali comes that way off the lot, or do you have to actually pay money to get something like that done?
I have no idea how it happened, where it happened, why it happened. I just know he had it.
Sure. And as far as your grandson being in custody for approximately 8 days, defense asked you initially how long he'd been in jail and if he was able to make a $2 million bond. And your initial answer was, no, he hasn't. And then when they followed up with whether or not he could make a $2 million bond, that's when you said, no, he cannot, correct?
Right.
Now, especially with all of your experience here in the county and working in the clerk's office, you're aware that when somebody has a $2 million bond, they can pay only 10% of that, correct?
Yes.
With the bondsman's help. Now, your grandson is a double platinum recording artist, correct?
Correct.
And he lives in a mansion in Frisco, correct?
Correct.
And he has houses in other states, correct?
I'm not aware of that.
Are you aware of him paying and helping to support other individuals in the family and also extended family and friends?
I'm not into his business like that.
You agree with me that your grandson is substantially well off, correct?
He might used to be, but if he could make a $2 million bond, he'd be out.
Would you agree with me, though, that there's a difference between can, want to, and choosing not to?
I'm aware of all of those things, but I know he don't want to be in here, so I know if he could afford it, he'd be out. Plus, he has other bills. He don't just have money laying around.
Sure. Now, Ms. Alexander, if I wanted to reach out to Ms. Rush, your daughter, what would be the best phone number to reach her at?
She's not my daughter.
Okay. Mr. Conway's mother, if I was going to reach out to her, what would be the best phone number to reach out to her at?
You don't have that information?
If you were going to reach out to her, not me.
Judge, I'm going to object to bantering with the witness and relevancy here. We're kind of veering off to and getting into discovery. The state hadn't showed us their case. They've made a proffer here. It seems like they can do their discovery outside the courtroom.
Objection overruled. You may proceed. Ma'am, you'll need to answer the question.
What was it?
If you were going to call Ms. Rush, what number would you call her at? If you need to check your phone, I'd be happy to wait.
Okay. Thank you. 214-554-5606.
56.
06.
Judge, again, I'm gonna object to this, as far as being public information and getting out to the public. This is a media case. This is an improper question. I know the judge just overruled me on this, but there is a fear of this getting out.
Well, it's out there now.
I would ask the court to seal the number. The prosecutor had it.
The court's going to overrule your objection. I do understand and appreciate the concern that it was publicly announced. So I'm going to ask, you're asking that it be sealed?
I'm asking that it be sealed from the public. And the court has heard it, considered it for this bond hearing, and that this not be published outside of the courtroom. The media sitting outside of the courtroom. And I think there's a legitimate fear of us here, just like the state has their concerns. So that was my objection.
The court will grant that objection.
To seal.
Grant that objection. You can use it for your purposes only. It cannot be published to anyone else.
Okay, sure. And Your Honor, the reason I'm asking, I'm going to have another question too, is that in State's Exhibit number 6, which is the confidential affidavit of financial conditions, in which the defendant is asked to provide an emergency contact number, the only emergency contact person he lists is himself. And the problem with that is that number that he listed for himself is according to Ms. Alexander, the same number. So I'm just trying to clear some things up. We don't have anything on the information here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Alexander, my follow-up to you is that if you were going to call your grandson 8 days ago, what number would you call him at? And if the defense wants this portion to be sealed, I'm fine with that too, but I think this is important information, Your Honor.
Well, could we have her write it down, perhaps?
That's fine.
Announcing it in court.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Senator to the defense, what's the mark of State's Exhibit number 7?
No objection.
State's Exhibit number 7 is admitted.
Now, Ms. Alexander, you testified that your grandson has significant ties to this community, correct?
Yes,
Born and raised in the greater Dallas area.
correct.
As far as how much time he spends in the city of Dallas, or more or less Dallas County and the surrounding areas at this point, do you know approximately how much time he spends in the greater Dallas area per month?
I'd say 3/4 of the time.
3/4 of the time. Now, just as far as his ability to travel and nature of that, like planes and getting around, you're aware that he travels quite a bit via private jet, commercial, all of that, correct?
Yes.
And does he have access to his own private jet?
No.
Do you know approximately how often he does fly private?
Hey, I appreciate everybody up in here. Make sure
So when he
y'all hit
does
that
that,
like
he'd be having
and
to pay
comment
for
and
those bills as
subscribe.
well,
Tell me
correct?
y'all thoughts on the
Correct.
trial.
Do you agree with me that flying private is not the cheapest thing in the world to do?
Yes.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Anything else from the students?
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You can step down. You have another witness?
Judge, I was going to make the proffer we discussed back in Chambers. May I make a proffer, Your Honor?
Yes.
Judge, a lot of us have been down here at this courthouse for 30 years. I'm not going to go over the law. I know you understand the bail bond and how we have a new law. I just wanted to point out in some of these cases where there's high profile, in the state versus Michael Lucky, that was a capital murder case. That was in Criminal District Court number 7, the court that we're in. That was a high profile case. That case involved an NBA player that was initially set by the magistrate in the jail with a probable cause affidavit, where they had knowledge of the facts from what the police said. And that bond was originally set at $500,000. It was later reduced by the court to $100,000 with conditions. Co-defendant in that case, Larry Jenkins, cause number F2076397. This is the same set of facts case where the magistrate with a probable cause affidavit set it for $750,000. Another case in the state of Texas versus Antoine Franklin, capital murder case 522-76141. This involved a famous football player out of Oklahoma. That case was set by the magistrate for $500,000. Again, probable cause affidavit. He was later reduced by the court to $200,000. Judge, in dealing with the bond schedule, you have bond conditions here that require electronic monitor. They have several conditions of probation, check-in, and curfews. We're proffering to the court here that the court has set bonds down here in Dallas County where the typical murders range between $150,000 and $200,000, and a capital murder can range, in these cases, in between $500,000 and $750,000, where the magistrate set them. The thing in this case that we're proffering, the magistrate had no probable cause affidavit. They had no facts. And in this case, we're asking the bond to be reduced in these facts. We'll argue here, but I just want to proffer those 3 cases.
All right. Anything else?
We're closing and we'd just like to argue.
Okay. State.
Your Honor, I would just, if I could, just briefly, I would also like to proffer just 2 cases since defense has brought up some cases that have come here from Dallas County. The first one I would like to bring up is F2475475. Defendant's name is Chaz Booth out of the 194th Judicial District Court. He's currently sitting in jail on a capital murder charge for $2 million. That defendant is not a celebrity, a basketball player, a football player, a musician, an artist, or anything like that.
I'm sorry, what's the bond on that one?
$2 million.
Oh, $2 million.
He is a 20-year-old who is charged with capital murder. Additionally, we have Jordan Owens, who was recently sentenced F2377243, also a capital murder, and his bond was set at $1.5 million, and I believe that was in the 282nd Judicial District Court. And that's, as far as cases, I'm not going to keep going with. I'm not going to go back and forth, so that's all we have as far as rebuttal and withdrawal.
Your arguments?
We'll wait and reserve the right for a rebuttal.
All right.
Judge, I'll begin and then Mr. Kusko will finish up with that. Your Honor, as you know, under 1715, the court considers certain facts in the bond reduction hearing and determining whether to reduce the bond. Here in this hearing, the court has before you then introduced 2 arrest affidavits. There is not the arrest affidavit of our client, that does not exist, but you do and have reviewed the arrest affidavits of Kewan White and Mr. Brown. Those arrest affidavits were taken on Kewan White was December 8, 2020, Devin Brown, March 18th of 2021. The offense itself is approximately 4 years and 4 months ago when it occurred. You carefully reviewed those affidavits and set out how the offense, and you saw the video. Nowhere in those affidavits is there any mention of our client, any mention of his role, any mention of connection to this case in either one of those affidavits that you have before you that you can consider. As far as the proffer given by the state, they choose what they can proffer. They said they have one person who overheard a conversation after the incident that happened on the highway in which he heard money being discussed and our client present at that during that conversation about paying money. You received no information in the proffer as to the credibility of that witness, if they have a bias or a motive for coming forward now at this time, 4 years, 4 months later, with this information. You only have you don't even have a proffer that this was a confidential informant, which you know requires some type of vetting, just that it's a person who said they were present during this one conversation. And that's the only evidence that you have before you this hearing that connects into this offense. The state also proffered a bank record that said there was after the incident in November of 2020, there was a withdrawal of $40,000 cash. No proffer was made as to if that money there was traced anywhere to the other defendants charged in this offense. You've received no information of a text message, any message on a social media platform that our client paid for this murder, any type of remuneration, no recording of any sort, just this person who came forward and said he overheard this conversation. As far as the bank records go, the only thing in evidence before the court are records that were back in 2020 when they quoted 2 different accounts which accounted for $800,000. You've heard no evidence as to his current financial bank records and what is in there. You only have before you testimony of the defendant's grandmother who told you he cannot make the bond, has not been able to make the bond, and cannot make the $2 million bonds. I'll let Mr. BEGGIN finish with the other parts of the argument.
Judge, thank you. I'm not going to go back over what Mr. Shook said. What the court has before you is a case that's been investigated for 5 years, and my client, Conway, is a citizen in this community that has no flight issues. He has not left this community. He stays in this community. His family is sitting right back here in the courtroom that showed up to the support in this community. A big factor of this is that he has significant ties to this community. The current bond conditions that you have in place with a leg monitor would be whatever concerns that the state may have or the court may have to know where he is. His grandmother has worked down here and understands how to communicate with the court. We have people, and the bond restrictions of that, the court is aware of how significant the bond restrictions are in keeping them and writing a bond. Judge, we're coming at this is a significant, oppressive, and punitive bond and under the law, in our opinion. We believe that the magistrate, when she set this bond, did not have any evidence in front of her and set it high. We also believe that after 8 days, had he had the money, he would have posted it, and he's sitting here in jail. And that those cases that the state and I have talked about, the court is well aware of a wide range that you have, but given these facts that Mr. Shook went over with no corroboration, we don't know anything about their case, this witness, who they are, the court doesn't. And given the facts presented, we're asking you to reduce this bond to an appropriate amount where he can abide by the conditions and come to court, and we can fight this case.
Okay, thank you. State.
Yeah, sure. Just briefly. In regards to an individual's ability to pay the bond, Ms. Alexander testified specifically that she is not involved in her grandson's business and doesn't keep up with his financial stuff. So she really was not in a position to testify what he can and what he cannot afford. She did testify to the fact that he is a double platinum, I believe as of recently 2 weeks ago, recording artist, that he travels about a quarter of the month, that he lives in a mansion in Frisco, that he drives a Denali, a bulletproof Denali, which also will lead into safety concerns. So the only thing that the court has as far as ability to pay or not to do it, or not having an ability to pay this bond, is the bank records which I've proffered to the court, as well as his own grandmother saying that he's a successful artist living in a mansion up in Frisco that flies on private jets and travels. The important thing about the Denali is not just the fact of the cost and all that, but it's the fact that when we're talking about safety concerns for the community, and one of the factors that the court should take into consideration is, if this individual were to get out, is there a viable safety concern? The fact that the defendant has a bulletproof vehicle and drove one at the time and was arrested in it 8 days ago, that should tell you all you need to know. And that's not just based off of pure jealousy. Your Honor has been doing this long enough to know that is based off of something much greater than just pure jealousy. As far as safety circumstances for the community, this is, as defense has stated, a very high-profile case, and this defendant is very well known, not only locally, not only in the state, but nationally and internationally.
Yeah, I'll make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate everybody over here right
and the
now.
reach to get to witnesses.
It ain't looking
is a
good.
true
It ain't looking good.
Should also take into consideration, and that this was part of a bigger thing that was going on in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, culminating in the death of Melvin Noble. The circumstances surrounding it are not only the offense in itself, but the circumstances building up to Mr. Noble's death. And Your Honor, I didn't want to go back and forth with the defense on proffering cases of bonds and $2 million and $3 million bonds, but the truth is, this is a capital murder for remuneration. And the defendant is charged with paying other individuals to take another human life. And he has the financial means and the reach to do it.
Yo, shout out 2K. What up, 2K?
I think it's important that there was another victim. This was at noon on I-35 leading into downtown Dallas. 44 fired cartridge casings. Who knows how many others were knocked away by the cars that kept driving by. Melvin Noble was hunted down on November 11th in 2020. A beloved son of Dallas. It could have been so much worse, and that's a terrible thing to say when it's a capital murder for remuneration, where he has paid another man to hunt down and kill somebody in broad daylight. Your Honor, based off of all the testimony and the facts that have been presented in this court, we'd ask that you leave the bond where it's at, currently at $2 million.
All right, let me have the exhibits, and then if you all will give me about 10 minutes, I'll respond.
Can I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. The defense did not have any exhibits, right?
No, Your Honor.
And this is just the video, right? That
Yes,
makes
sir.
total sense. Anything else that I need to take with me?
And you had 1 and 2 still.
Yeah, I still have.
Finished.
Appreciate the share, 2K. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
All right.
don't know what to say about that black ice.
All piggyback, all that.
Yo, what up, 2K? This nigga is not getting out of jail. Right now they doing a bond hearing right now. I'm gonna do a whole breakdown for it, make a breakdown video for it later. But they doing a bond hearing right now. Today is the first day. There we go. There we go. There we go. I gotta come on here to entertain y'all. But yeah, they doing recess right now. They trying to lower the bond right here. I'm gonna do a whole breakdown. I'm gonna do a whole breakdown for it later. Shout out to 2K. Shout out to 2K, man. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I really wasn't expecting to cover this today, but hey, let's watch it. For real talk. You think he actually had something to do with that? I ain't gonna lie. I think he did. Just like I said in the other video, like him and Mo 3, they've been having a bunch of back and forth, and basically, like Mo 3 ain't no saint himself. He said in the song that he retaliated to Yella Beezy, and Yella Beezy confirmed that in the Vlad interview. So, but did he hire Quan to do that? Quan said in interview while he's locked up, he said he take full accountability for it.
Oh, my bad. I apologize.
I think he gonna get out if they lower the bond because he haven't been a threat to society since then. I mean, you right about that. He been in and out of jail, had a few charges, but nothing up to this caliber. They have nothing. They just messed up the case. They going by he drives an old 2007 bulletproof truck. He may have it, but I don't have it. Yeah, you right. I feel you on that. Real talk say he guilty. 2K, what's goody, my brother? How's your mom? 3 wasn't the same, but that was 5. I feel you. I think he did it. I think he actually did it. God damn, that tight as hell, ain't it? That nigga got a tight ass uniform on, though. Uniform tight as fuck. Hey, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and don't forget to share. What you mean? You think somebody's snitching? I think Q1 actually is talking though. I think he's talking. I don't know. We're gonna find out though. We're gonna find out in the effect of rest of the trial date. But I'm gonna have a whole breakdown for it later on, so y'all make sure y'all subscribe, tune in, to where people don't want to actually just watch the court hearing. I'm gonna have a whole breakdown for it later. So. You see Freddie ain't saying much. Yeah. Trap Boy Freddie actually did a show the other night. I mean, my suspicion is Trap Boy Freddie, when he went out there to troll MO3 shooting, he was actually was riding out there to confirm that. Appreciate everybody that's up in here right now. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Subscribe if you have. Appreciate it.
My ruling.
I'm bringing this full coverage to y'all. Nobody on this YouTube doing this now, nigga.
The court took into consideration, certainly, the biggest consideration was the offense, the severity of this particular offense. It's pretty egregious to watch that video. But the court also took into consideration the evidence or lack of evidence that the state presented. That was a factor also. Another concern I had was the financial statement that the defendant was to put on file. He didn't seem to take that very seriously at all. And that causes me concern about whether or not he's taking seriously the allegations against him. So I am going to set the bond at $750,000.
Oh!
With the bond conditions that were already set.
Appreciate it, Jason.
But included on that, I want it to be very clear, Mr. Conway, that you are to have no contact, direct or indirect, no threatening or harassment of any victim, witness, co-defendant. If it's you or anybody on your behalf, there's going to be a problem. Do you understand that? Okay, you all can stand. I'm talking to you now.
Oh,
So
750,000.
And then I want to make sure that you provide the court with correct information regarding your person of contact, because basically this affidavit seemed to be your way of saying, forget y'all. I don't want you to open your mouth. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Seemed to be your way of saying, forget y'all. So you need to provide correct, accurate information regarding who is your person of contact should there be any type of problem. I hope that you're taking this seriously because your responses in this affidavit kind of indicate that you're not. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Nothing to say, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
So that means he got to pay, what, 10%? Is it 7% or 10%? Like when you do, like when you get out on bond, you got to pay how much? 10%? He got to pay what? 75,000? 75,000? Well, he got to pay 75,000. I know he got that, at least in jury. I know he got that in jury.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Judge.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well now. I want to.
Yeah, man, that's
I'll make a request to get a copy of this trial.
that's it, y'all. That's it.
You'll send me an email with the formal request, and I can get back to you within this.
Got the cameras on. They still got the audio. Case over the
I
judge.
represent
Just
Q on White.
case over the judge just said they lack evidence. They have no case.
Just put it on here. Okay.
Well, man, saying that man got to pay $75,000. $75,000. Let's look at the news article. Let's look at the news article.
Another rapper.
Hold on. Let me look at his news article for
All right, now to a developing story. North Texas rapper Yella Beezy in court today accused of killing another rapper. Our Natalie Haddad joins us live now from the courthouse in Dallas. Natalie, a lot of people interested in this story. What happened in court today?
Yeah, you right.
Yeah,
2K.
absolutely, Janelle. I was sitting in the hearing in that courtroom, and every seat was full, every pew, I should say. And again, just mentioned, we just walked out of that courtroom. A judge granted rapper Yella Beezy a lesser bond. This was his first court appearance. It was all about the bond that he was assigned to him when he was first arrested. Now, Yella Beezy, whose real name is Mark.
So let me ask y'all this: do y'all think just because he didn't give a damn, like he alluded to like he didn't give a damn, do you think that he actually did that shit?
Conway, he was arrested just last week in a murder for hire plot. So some background for you. Conway was initially given a $2 million bond. His defense team argued he could not afford that, and he needed to be in a position where he could continue to provide for his immediate and extended family. And despite the prosecution arguing that Conway could pay a $2 million bond if he wanted to because he lives in a mansion in Frisco and flies in private jets, Conway now returns to jail with a $750,000 bond instead. So went from $2 million to $750,000. Conway arrested last week, nearly 5 years after the murder of another Dallas rapper, Melvin Noble, known by his rap name MO3. Conway is accused of hiring a hitman who carried out Noble's murder. He faces a capital murder while
Black was trying to ask Stephen the question, in which ain't ever a good thing, but that's a very street way.
Remuneration charge, and this means that the killing was done for financial gain or reward. Now, back in November of 2020, Noble was shot and killed on I-35 in Dallas. I believe we have seen video of that. He tried to get out of his car and run, but was gunned down by a man with a rifle. 2 men were arrested in the weeks following his murder and are facing federal charges themselves. But now this case against Conway could reveal details into the hired hitman's payment and the motivation behind the murder. Again, just walked out of the courtroom just a few moments ago. Conway was escorted back to the jail. He was present for the hearing, so we will keep you updated right here on WFAA.
Trust me, if the feds pick it up, and then we'll know the real deal.
Whether Conway pays that now $750,000 bond. Janelle?
Oh yeah, he gonna pay that. He gonna pay that. Most definitely. Hey, I'd be glad to pay that. Glad to pay that. But hey, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I just wanted to live stream that real fast, share that with y'all. I had to get up and do my YouTube thing. I'm finna do a whole breakdown video of the court hearing. Basically they didn't provide another date for the next court date, but of course, if you like, comment, subscribe, you'll know. You'll know. Yes, he gonna walk. Judge said the lack of evidence and the judge only mad he didn't have the contact info. Yes, he gonna walk. Hey, we'll tune in next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. And but yeah, man, like I said before, y'all tune in, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all keep updated. I'm gonna update y'all everything on the Yella Beezy, and also on this Say So P shooting, because I put money on it. They're gonna catch the other two guys this weekend because they some Memphis niggas and country as hell. They eat chicken on the stick at Dodgers. I know it. But yeah, mark my words, it's hidden agendas behind this bond. What you mean by that, Jason? What you mean by that? Let's see what else they talking about on here. Let's see what else they talking about. Let's read the okay. Yella Beezy hearing begins, blah 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 blah. Yella Beezy in the courtroom, blah blah, at 9:23. What up, BTC? What's going on, dog? The state claims that the state witness will be testifying later, blah blah. Oh, so they have a state witness. They have a state witness to an alleged conversation, including Yella Beezy, about paying $40,000 in cash to Keywan White. So whoever transferred that money to Keywan White, they snitching. They saying somebody got them snitching. The feds is coming whenever it's a murder for hire. Yeah, for sure. The state will begin to review surveillance. That's the highway shooting that you talking about right there. They went to Yella Beezy, blah 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 blah. Yella Beezy's attorney reveals that they're asking the court for $250,000. Oh yeah, let me show you. Like this dude right here, Toby Shook. This Yella Beezy's lawyer. I'm not familiar who he represented, but he's like a big defense attorney for Dallas. 2K, do you have any insight on this guy right here? Because it seems like he done did a bunch of high profile cases in Dallas. These are the transcripts of him saying that he's representing best lawyers in Dallas. All the years, best lawyer in Dallas. Okay. Blackie said they just said the state witness have no proof. That's what they lawyer to bond. Okay, I got you. This is she didn't look like this in the courtroom. She looked older. Judge Sheikah Anima. Oh, this a sister. This is a sister. Let me say that for my video later, cause I'm gonna have to. But yeah, man, it's all right. Say that for later. But let's go back up to the transcripts. What 2K say? No, I ain't never wanna know him either. Shit. They rest. Yella Beezy appears calm as he looks on into his attorney, Toby Shook, delivering an argument about receiving no information about an alleged conversation about a payment or information about the $40,000 exchange. So y'all playing dumb, basically. Yella Beezy grandmother claims the rapper cannot make bond. Yeah, y'all just saying that she was up there, but like, look, this nigga Poe, he got an old car. You gotta crank it up before you drive it before it get warm. His attorney says after 8 days, if he would have had the money for the bond, he would have paid it already. I just think this right here, I think that's just a play right there. I just think that's a play because I actually do think he has the money. It just, his lawyer was basically like, no, don't do it. We're going to play this. We're going to do this and blah, 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 blah. They're going to do that. The most they going to do is follow the money that bonds him out to try to see if the same account paid for the hit. I feel you. Let's see what they talking about. The state urges that Yella Beezy's grandmother testified that she does not know the rapper's financial records, so she cannot confirm if he cannot afford to bond a condition. So why is she even up there? The state said he is double platinum artist who lives in a mansion up the hills and flies private jets. He has a bulletproof truck. The state also says Mo3 was hunted down. He was a beloved son of Dallas. And the judge says, may I have the exhibits? Okay, give me 10 minutes. Yella Beezy, who looked at his family while he stepped out and was escorted to the courtroom at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock. So yeah, Yella Beezy's mother seated in the gallery, returning. They returned. Mother of Nicole Noble remained seated in the courtroom until 10:22. Yeah, Mo3's mother. And let me refresh this. The numbers don't lie. They know all about him. Trust me, he ain't getting over. We gonna see. We're gonna see. Where was I at? The judge came back in. Bond has reset. Blah blah blah. We just seen that. Mo3's mother remained seated in the courtroom. Was not set. The next initial trial date was not set by the judge. And that was it. So yeah, we're gonna find out more sooner or later. I don't know when the next trial date is. But to find out. I mean, like what? Like y'all. If y'all have any questions before I go, hit me up, man. I need to put like a little thing showing y'all talking right here. That's what I need to do. So what y'all want to know, man? It's just by him getting that bond, Lord. I think that like Jason said, they gonna like Black Eye said, they gonna follow that money trail. And the state basically saying we got somebody that told already. Which is insane. I don't know. But everything he do after this point when he said bond, they gonna be looking at him. They gonna be looking at him, bro. If they had something the lawyer would have fought more, you can tell he don't like him. They have nothing. Okay. But me, just looking at everything that's going on, I think he did that shit. I actually think he did that shit, man. But I mean, everything is proven in the court of law. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So yeah, man. I appreciate everybody that's kicking it with me. Make sure y'all subscribe. Check out for more updates. And yeah, I'm finna work on this video. Make sure y'all watch this breakdown video.